Hello friends, welcome to Shiksharthi. In this video, we'll be solving exercise 4.1 on quadratic equation. So let's start. So talking about question number 1, it says check whether the following are quadratic equations or not. So starting off with question number 1, x plus 1 whole square is equal to twice of x minus 3. Now, there are two aspects when you are solving this question. First is, just by inspection can I say it is yes or not, and then I justify my answer that whatever I inspected at the very outset, was it correct or not. So on the left hand side I see, so if I see the first variety here, this is a kind of a variety wherein on one hand quadratic equation is given. As discussed earlier, we will be using quadratic equation abbreviation as this. So on one hand there is a quadratic equation given, and on the other hand there is a linear equation given. So will this result into a quadratic equation? I mean, blindly you can say yes. Now let's justify this answer. Is it a quadratic equation? Yes, it is. So when we solve the left hand side, we get x square plus 2x plus 1 using the formula for a plus b whole square is equal to 2x minus 3. Now this 2x and 2x, they get cancelled out, and eventually you say what? X square minus 4 is equal to a 0. Is it a quadratic equation? Yes. Talking about question number 2. So it is again a variety like on LHS, which is on the left hand side, you are having a quadratic equation. This is how you would inspect the question at the very beginning. And on the right hand side, again you are having a linear equation. That does not make any difference whether a linear equation is having a negative coefficient or a positive, does not make any difference to the interpretation. Will it give me a quadratic equation? The answer based on inspection is yes. Now let us justify the answer. Okay, now x square minus 2x is just like saying this is minus x plus 2x, because minus into minus is plus. Now this goes on this side, so can I write it as this is x square minus 4x plus 6 is equal to a 0. Is it a quadratic equation? Yes. Now this is a kind of a quadratic equation wherein you are having one quadratic equation on one side, let's say 1, and another quadratic equation on the other side, let's say 2. Quadratic equation 1, quadratic equation 2. Will it give me a quadratic equation? It may give me, it may not give me. Now when will it not give me? When the coefficients of x square on both the sides are equal, which happens in this case. So in this case, definitely it is not going to be a quadratic equation. Now let us justify. Okay, so x square, now x square minus 2x plus x minus 2 is equal to x square plus 3x minus x minus 3. So x square gets cancelled out. If I wish, I can leave the answer here itself, but since we are justifying the answer, let's solve it in totality. Let's bring this on this side, so it is just like saying 3x plus 2x. Now plus x, this also goes on the other side, so which is again minus x. Another way here is this is 2x, right? 2x, and this becomes minus x, so when this goes on the other side, this becomes 3x, and minus 2 when goes on the other side becomes plus 2. So which is why we said at the very beginning no. So when I'm encircling, this is going to be the answer. Again, fourth question is one quadratic equation on one side and another quadratic equation on another side. Now we know, so we are using the same. So one quadratic equation on one side, which is LHS, and another quadratic equation on another side, which is RHS. What would be the answer? The answer may be it is not and it is. Let us check. Are the coefficients of x square equal on both the sides? No. So definitely you can say what? It is going to be a quadratic equation. Now let us justify. So can I write this as 2x square plus x minus 6x plus 1, and now to save my steps, minus x square minus 5x equated to a 0. Okay, so 2x square, using this 2x square minus x square is x square, minus 6x minus 5x minus 11x plus x minus 10x. Have we used all the coefficients of x? Yes. Plus 1. Is it a quadratic equation? Yes. Talking about this falls under the same category as we are talking about LHS is a quadratic equation, RHS is a quadratic equation. Coefficient of x square here on LHS is 2, coefficient of x square on RHS is 1. So 2 minus 1 gives me the coefficient of x square finally. So will it be a quadratic equation? Yes. When will it not be a quadratic equation? When the coefficients of x square on both the sides are equal. In that case, they get cancelled out. So without even getting into writing the full form here, I can say that, or let's now when we are justifying, let's solve it in toto. 2x square minus 6x minus x plus 3 minus x square, then minus x when it goes on the left hand side becomes plus 5x when goes on the left hand side becomes minus 5x, and then minus 5 when goes on the other side becomes plus 5 is equal to a 0. So when you solve this, let's use this. This becomes x square. Now minus 6x minus x minus 7x minus 7x and 5x comes from there, or let's say minus 4x. So minus 7x minus 4x when combined together makes it how much? Minus 11x. Let's see it again. Minus 6 minus 1 minus 7 minus 7 plus 1 minus 6 minus 6 minus 5 minus 11. So have we used all the coefficients of x? Yes. 3 plus 5, 8. So this is again next one, talking about question number 6. Left hand side quadratic equation, right hand side quadratic equation without even writing now. The coefficients of x square are going to be the same on both hand sides. That means this will not be a quadratic equation finally. Let's check it out. So can I say that x square plus 3x plus 1 is equal to x square minus 4x plus 4? X square gets cancelled out. This goes on the other hand side. Let's say 7x minus 3 is equal to a 0, which is y. So this is a linear equation. Question number 7 is slightly different because now they have given you cubic equation on one side and cubic equation on another side. This becomes a quadratic equation only when the cubic, at least when the cubic, the coefficients of x cube are the same on both the sides. What is the coefficient of x cube here? X plus 2 whole cube. What is the coefficient here? 1. What is the coefficient here? 2. So x cube will remain, which means that this will not be a quadratic equation. Now let us justify our answer. X cube, a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square So finally, if I take this entire thing on the other hand side, x cube, right, minus 6x square, minus 12x and minus 2x minus 14x and minus 8. In this case, the coefficient of x cube, so talking about the 8th question now, the coefficient of x cube on the left hand side is 1, the coefficient of x cube on the right hand side is 1. Will this be a quadratic? It should be. If the remaining things are not cancelled out, this should be. Why are we saying this should be? Because maybe the coefficient of x square also cancels out on both the sides. But definitely, this should be. Should be means you need to just check. Okay, so x cube minus 4x square minus x plus 1 makes it x cube minus, so what is the formula for a minus b whole cube? A cube minus 3a square b. So what should I write here? What I am trying to say here is, let us say that instead of a 2 I am just supposed to write down minus 2. We already did this here. So a cube minus 3a square b, which makes it this. So alternatively, x plus 2 you have already expanded. Now x minus 2 you just have to change the polarity. So if this is plus, this becomes minus, this is plus, this becomes minus. Okay, so x cube gets cancelled out, but the coefficients of x square are also not the same, which means it will definitely give me a quadratic equation. Okay, let's bring these entire things on the right hand side, which is just like saying 6x square minus 4x square is 2x square, minus 12x and minus x makes it minus 13x, and minus 8 plus 1 gives it a 9. Let's move on to question number 2. So talking about question number 2, it says represent the following situations in the form of quadratic equations. Let us talk about subpart 1. I'll read out the question for you. Maybe when you're solving these questions and when you're referring to my video, please ensure that you're keeping either a soft copy of the book or a hard copy of the book so that you can refer to the solution set. Now, question number 1 says the area of a rectangular plot is 528 meters square. Now, we know that area of a rectangular plot is length into breadth. This is the introspection that you need to do when you are reading the question. The length of the plot is in meters, is one more than twice the breadth. We need to find the length and the breadth of the plot. So, represent this situation in the form of a quadratic equation. Okay. So what will I do? I can say let the breadth be x. X meters. Right? In that case, the length we know is what? Twice the breadth, which is 2x, and one more than twice. So the length is one more than twice its breadth, which is meters. Let's put this also in parenthesis. Now we know what is the area of a rectangle. The area of a rectangle is length into breadth, which is nothing but x into 2x plus 1. And this area is already given to you as 528 meters square. So this is meter square. On the other side also you are getting it as 528 meter square. Now you know that you are equating a quadratic equation with a constant term on the other hand side. So can I say finally 2x square when I bring this on the other side, which is the right hand side, plus x minus 528 is equal to 0 is the quadratic equation which is represented because of the pieces of information given in this question. Let's move on to subpart 2. So subpart 2 says the product of two consecutive positive integers is 306. We need to find out the integers. Okay, so let's say the first positive integer. So let's put it like this. Let the first positive integer be equal to x. In that case, the second positive integer, it becomes how much? X plus 1. Now what is the piece of information? It says that the product of two consecutive positive integers is equal to 306 and we need to find out the integers. So now x into x plus 1 is given to you as 306. So now solving this or making it as an equation so that we can find out the zeros. So what are you supposed to do in this question? You are supposed to find out the zeros first, and once you find out the zero, then the other zero here would be x plus 1. Okay, so this becomes x square plus x minus 306 is what you need to solve. You need to solve for the zeros of x, and it says just represent. It does not ask me to solve the question. So which is why now we are moving on to subpart 3. Talking about subpart 3, it says Rohan's mother is 26 years older than him. So let Rohan's mother's age be equal to x years. So in that case, Rohan's age becomes equal to how much? It says she is 26 years older. So in that case, this becomes Rohan's age. Okay, the product of their ages in years, 3 years from now will be 360. So Rohan's mother's age 3 years hence becomes how much? 3 years hence means you'll have to add another 3 years to his mother's age. In that case, Rohan's age 3 years hence would be addition to his age as of now, which will be x plus 26 plus 3, which is x into x, x plus 29 years. And finally it says, which is years, and the product of their age is 360. This product, now the product of their ages is just like saying x plus 3 into x plus 29 should be equal to a 360. So when I solve this, x square, so x square plus 29x plus 3x makes it 32x plus 3 into 29, which is 87, is equal to 360. Okay, so x square plus 32x minus how much? If I add 30 into 87, that gives me 100. How much should I add to 100 to get a 260? I'm sorry, 360, 260. So 260 plus 13 gives me 273. So this becomes a quadratic equation. Find out the zeros of this, and then you will be able to find. The first zero here is x and the other zero here is x plus 26. If they were asking for their present ages, which they are asking for, we would like to find Rohan's present age. In that case, there are two zeros. The two zero values are given by x and x plus 26, in which you need to get the values, the zeros from here, the possible zeros from here. Maybe you are getting two zeros from here and there are two possible values. Maybe you are getting one zero as negative and one zero as positive. Now you know that when the sum is positive and the product here is negative, the product can be negative only when one of the root is positive and the other root is negative. Please remember this. So now you can apply the nature of roots that we had done. Okay, but we are not supposed to find out, we are just supposed to represent. Let's talk about the last subpart, which is subpart 4. Subpart 4 says a train travels a distance of 480 kilometers at a uniform speed. If the speed had been 8 kilometers less, then it would have taken 3 hours more to cover the same distance. We need to find the speed of the train. Okay. Now, what is distance? Distance is equal to speed into time. So it says, now distance is already given to you. If the speed had been 8 kilometers per hour less, then it would have taken 3 hours more. So the first case that you are going to make here is, let us say, and what are you supposed to calculate? You are supposed to calculate the speed of the train. So let the speed of the train be equal to x kilometer per hour. So in that case, the time taken will be, distance is already given to you as hours. Let's say this is first equation. You have already done linear equations, right? Now it says if the speed would have been 8 km per hour less, then it would have taken 3 hours more. Taken 3 hours more. 3 hours more means what? Now it will be taking t plus 3. In that case, the distance remains the same, but the velocity reduces to x minus 8. Now this will be hours. Second equation. Can I substitute the value of t from the first equation into the second equation? Yes. When I do this, I get 480 divided by x plus 3 is equal to 480 divided by x minus 8. So I need to make a quadratic equation out of this and then solve this equation. There are two ways here. One is I can bring 480 on one of the sides. So which is just like saying 3 is equal to 480 times of. So now this is how much? 1 by x minus 8. Let's use another bracket here. Minus 1 upon x. And this eventually can be written as, can I write this as? So this 480 goes down and I can say this is 1 divided by 160 is equal to x minus 8, which is, now this becomes plus 8 upon x into x minus 8. This goes up and this goes up, but before I do this, I should say that x into x minus 8 should not be a 0 because this comes in the denominator. So that means I cannot take a value of x, because if I don't do this, that means then it violates the definition of a rational number. We know that a rational number is written in the form of p by q such that q should not be equal to 0 and both p and q are integers. So when we do this, we'll have to write that x into x minus 8 should not be equal to a 0. It is then we will be able to say x into x minus 8. This goes up and this gets multiplied with. So thereafter you would say that this is x square minus 8x minus 1280. You get the value, you solve for this. Solve for this in the sense x square minus 8x minus 1280 is equal to a 0. You get the roots, you get the zeros of this quadratic equation, and then you will be able to find out the velocity, the permissible velocity. You know that velocity will always be positive, it cannot be negative. Right? I hope that this problem solving session would be fruitful to you, and if you feel that this is informational and knowledgeable, then please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. If you have already done so, click on the bell icon and select all so that you get regular updates from us. If you want us to do some videos on specific topics or difficult topics, put it in the comment section so that we can do it for you. Thank you so much. Until next we meet, goodbye.